Hi, my name's Emile.
Hi, I'm Amy.
Hi, I'm Chase.
My name is Dan.
Hi, my name is David.
My name is Emily.
Hi, I'm Jared.
My name is Jill.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
My name is Matthew.
Hey, I'm Morgan.
My name is Tony.
I'm a retired guy and I live on the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
I live in Nassau County. I teach at a university and I'm an administrator there. I run disability support services. I'm an actor and a director.
I am a registered dietitian and I coordinate a program for nutrition education that reaches out to low-income families in New York City.
I am a 6th grade teacher in the Bronx. I teach English.
I graduated from college. I taught for a year, taught music actually in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And it just wasn't quite for me, so I decided to look into the military.
I am a writer. I do all sorts of writing for hire, anything anyone will pay me to do, and I also have a book coming out in April. It's co-written with my birth mother. It's the story of how she came to get pregnant with me and give me up for adoption, and how I then found her.
I was working for 40 years as first in the New York City Ballet as a dancer. And the next 20 years, I transitioned out of dancing to being a ballet master.
I'm a mom. That's my first job. I have a daughter. Her name's Alyssa.
Single mom. I have 2 teenagers, a boy and a girl. I'm a securities attorney.
I'm 15 years old and I'm from New Jersey.
I am a market researcher, which means that I write surveys for companies and conduct focus groups where we get people in a room and ask them their opinions on products or companies.
I moved to the city about a year ago. It'll be a year in November, and I'm a retail associate at Old Navy.
I work for a real estate developer here in New York City, and I'm the HR director for them. In the evenings, I'm adjunct faculty at Monroe College, a local college in New Rochelle.
And then I had the great fortune of being the assistant artistic director of American Ballet Theater.
So I joined and got deployed a few times, spent some time in Korea, and some of the the southern states in the States, and yeah, and that was it. That's my time in the military.
I go to Absegami High School in Galloway, New Jersey.
I moved here last November from Atlanta, Georgia, which is where I was born and raised.
I lived in Mexico, I lived in DC, I lived in Ann Arbor, Michigan, a whole bunch of places. We moved to Long Island when I was in high school.
I moved here over a year ago and I lived in South Carolina. I grew up in South Carolina in a very small town called Clinton.
I'm a Jersey girl, born and bred. I was born on the shore in the Middletown area and have lived there my whole life besides college.
I've always had a love for theater and musicals. I did my first musical when I was in 1st grade, I think, and from that point on I really liked them and I continued to act, and then from that point I watched shows more. So it's become a big part of my life.
My first real memory of Broadway is an 8th grade class trip to see Les Mis. My French teacher decided that this would be a good lesson for us, and I was dreading it. I was like, oh, this French play set in the 1800s, and the lights went down, and I was completely transformed for 3 hours.
I got introduced to Broadway when I was a little kid, I think 12 years old, saw Cats, and that was the first show I ever saw.
The first Broadway show I ever saw was Beauty and the Beast, January 22nd, 1995.
When I started this job, the boss had a set of tickets to Bring in the Noise, Bring in the Funk, and didn't want to go. He said, do you think you want to go see the show? And I thought, yeah, sure. So I took her, Alyssa. She was 6 at the time. And I just remembered looking at her eyes, and she was just amazed at everything that was happening. And I just thought, I want to see that look over and over and over again.
It sounds corny, but as an awkward teenager on Long Island, it was an escape for me, where I could be happy.
I started going to theater in high school because I was pretty close by in Westchester, and I used to, don't tell my parents, I used to cut school and come down into Manhattan, and in those days you could go see shows for student tickets that were $2 to $5. And so I saw Man of La Mancha 3 times, I saw the original production of Hair 3 times, I saw the original Cabaret, I think 5 times.
I took a year off and didn't act, didn't really see theater, and it just didn't work. I lost the balance, I became very frustrated, and it was just hard to do my job, so I realized that I need both sides of myself being fed, the intellectual side and the creative side. So that's what happened. I started just going.
I actually went to every Broadway show that opened last season and went to most of them from the season before, plus a large amount of off-Broadway shows. So I go some weeks 3 or 4 times a week, which is just wonderful for me. It's a dream come true.
Last year, I had the great opportunity to take my kids to see Bye Bye Birdie on Broadway, which was an amazing experience to expose children to Broadway and to sit there and watch an 11-year-old watch John Stamos and hear, you know, all these iconic songs, Going Steady and Bye Bye Birdie. It was just a really great experience.
I have a dream to meet Stephen Sondheim before he leaves us, so he's not an actor, but close enough. I actually would really love to meet Bernadette Peters. I saw Little Night Music with her, but it was raining the day I saw it, and I was like, I don't want to be out here. She's probably not going to want to be out here, so I went home without meeting her.
If I had to pick one thing that I love about Broadway, it's definitely the live element, because it's so interesting to see even a mess up on stage, because you don't know what's going to happen next.
You are sharing a moment with a couple hundred other people. It's never going to happen again. And when you sit down in your seat and the lights dim, there's something so magical about that privacy. It's between you and the actors and the presentation, the art of the writer, the beauty of the scene. It's all, it just gives me goosebumps to think about it.
People should listen to my opinion, because I think my opinion's pretty good. I actually have been blogging on my own restaurant reviews. I just panned Nobu 57 a couple weeks ago. No one's reading these reviews, but I like giving my opinion. And I love Broadway, and I'm not going to steer people wrong.
I bring a lot of enthusiasm and a great perspective for someone who really immerses themselves in the theater and really just has a passion for the art form itself.
There are so many people, and when I watched the videos from previous seasons, they just all seemed very polished and professional. They almost seemed like they were actors that were just doing this on the side for, to get out there on the internet, and so I just didn't think I would make the cut.
I represent people. I represent theater lovers. I represent mothers who take their children to the theater. I represent a demographic. I represent a demographic who probably don't go to Broadway as much as they should until a show comes out that represents them. And so maybe if I do a review about a show where they think maybe they have nothing in common with the characters, it would propel them to say, well, maybe I should see this show.
New York is filled with Southern tourists. They love coming to New York. We love coming to New York. I don't know why I said they. We love coming to New York. And I think I bring this very like Southern meets New York. Let me give you this different opinion.
You should listen to my opinion, because I have no expertise in theater really at all. I like what I like. I like comedy. I like drama. I like musicals. If it's fun, if it's good, I like it.
I think you should listen to my opinion, because I'm a little bit younger than most, I guess, typical theater goers. But and I think that brings an interesting perspective, because I haven't seen a ton of shows, and but I still know a lot about theater, and I know a lot about what it takes to put on a show. So I think that gives me an interesting viewpoint compared to some other people.
Yeah, I'm excited because, well, I mean, who wouldn't be excited to see Broadway shows all the time, kind of like a job, and then get to talk about it on camera? That's really awesome.
I'm beyond excited. You can't tell, really. I'm so excited.
I'm thrilled to have this opportunity to have some highlights in my life. And now that I'm retired, and I can think, well, I'm going to get up this morning and I'm going to go to the theater and I'm going to do word of mouth.
Yeah, I'm definitely really excited to be in the panel. I can't wait to see all the shows this season. It looks like it's going to be a really great season for Broadway.